Hello everybody, welcome to the third episode in Just Grandad. I've got one word for you today, trypanophobia. Yeah, I didn't know what it meant either. All the clever ones out there who knows what it means, you'll know what today's poem's about. If you didn't know what it meant, which I didn't, I realised it's an illness I've been suffering from most of my life. Trypanophobia is a fear of needles, particularly injections. A new word on me, but a very, very sort of serious illness that I've suffered from all my life, a fear of illnesses. And although the background is in the poem, I'd just like to give you just a little bit of brief explanation as to what it's all about. When I was young, you're not going to believe this now, but I was a very sickly child. Before I started school, I'd had just about everything that was going. Now, unfortunately, our local doctor, and I remember his face and his name vividly, Dr. Simpson, our local doctor decided that the one cure for everything was an injection. And I used to scream when his car pulled up because I knew exactly what it meant. And I grew up with a fear of needles because I had far too many when I was young. And I managed to avoid it most of my life. The poem will explain the rest, I hope. So here we go with Trypanophobia. When I was young, I suffered badly, illnesses one by one. The doctor only knew one cure. Another jab, my son? Whenever he pulled up outside, I knew my day was wrecked. I'd scream with fear and terror, for I knew what to expect. I must have had more needles than Granny's sewing case. I absolutely dreaded seeing Doctor face to face. That left its mark, and ever since I've had injection fear. But fortunately I've kept quite well throughout my whole career. But recently a letter said, some blood tests, just routine. I got myself in such a state, I turned a shade of green. I booked it up for 3 days on and then shook like a leaf. I couldn't get it from my mind. No sign of light relief. The day arrived. I felt so bad, but turned up on the dot. Explained my fears and hoped for understanding. Not a lot. If you feel bad and might just faint, it's hospital, not here. Thanks very much, I thought, but tried to hide my dreadful fear. She could have been much nicer, but perhaps that just was me. When all was done, I didn't feel the way I thought I'd be. I hadn't felt the pain, and I was walking 10 feet tall. I swaggered back to meet my wife, who'd waited in the hall. Oh, it was nothing, boasted I, still pretty full of emotion, and all my pent-up fear and panic hit hard like an explosion. So, being very angry that I'd felt that way, I went to bed and soundly slept. Tomorrow's a new day. But then try to imagine just how very, very glad I felt when Jackie got the call. You're booked for COVID jab. My initial reaction produced both joy and tears. I hadn't had injections for around some 50 years, and here we are within a week just facing all my fears. How I've got away scot-free for all those many years. It seems the dreaded needle now is testing just how strong I can be now. I've faced it, having escaped it for so long. We turned up nice and early and went in straight away. I told her I was frightened and I looked the other way. I held my breath and tensed up and waited for the sting. And then she said, it's over. I hadn't felt a thing. I really could have kissed her. But with a screen and mask, that would have been quite difficult, a not impossible task. I felt so very happy, but then again annoyed that I'd got myself worked up, something I must avoid. So that's my lifetime story, a phobia not nice. Some 50 years of waiting, then over in a trice. So 12 weeks' time we'll go again. I won't feel apprehension, because now I am a big brave boy. Bring on the next injection. Trypanophobia. So once again, my thanks to my technical director and just about everything else, my granddaughter Sophie, and my thanks to you, and please keep spreading the word keep subscribing, keep liking, and I'll see you all next time. Thank you very much. Bye.